Hey everyone, Off the Cuff Reviews here. My name is Alex and today I have a special new video for you. We are going to be talking about everything that I watched in the month of November so you guys can get some movie recommendations. Let's get into it. So it is November 30th as I am recording this and I'm probably going to post it on the same day. I don't believe I'm going to be really watching anything. I may watch something, but it's not going to be anything super significant to this video, so let's dive in. The first thing that I watched in the month of November was the Weird Al Yankovic movie that came out recently called Weird, the Al Yankovic story. And this one stars Daniel Radcliffe, and it's funny. It is definitely hilarious. It's based on a skit that Funny or Die did back in the day where they actually released a fake trailer for this movie. And then they kind of just made it into a full movie. And I feel like that's really cool. It's actually pretty funny. All of the celebrity cameos in it are top notch. The next one that I watched in the month of November was Soft and Quiet. This is a Blumhouse movie and it was surprising. It's probably the scariest movie of the year, but not for the reasons why you think. It's scary because of the real life implications of what's happening on screen. This is a movie that is pretty much shot and spliced together in a way that's going to make you feel like it was all shot in one take. I feel like it was a similar style to 1917. I feel like the way they advertise it is they don't full on say that they shot this in one take. So I feel like they kind of spliced it together, but they did a really great job at doing that. It definitely feels like it was shot all in one take. And maybe they did shoot it all in one take. Who knows? It was definitely shot over a very small time frame. And you could tell because of the urgency that is in this movie. You could tell there's a lot of urgency with the vibes of this movie. This is a movie that it's shocking. It is shocking. Within like the first 10 minutes, you will literally be shocked. You will literally be shocked because it's something that people don't really put in movies anymore. This topic is something that's not really touched on, but it was great to touch on this for a horror movie for sure. And if you want to check out any of the movies from this list, that would be like the number one movie that I would recommend. The next one that we watched was a movie called Luckiest Girl Alive on Netflix starring Mila Kunis. This one, it was a good movie. Like, it was directed well, it was acted well. I just really wasn't in the fucking mood to watch like 80 R-word scenes. And I get that that's what this movie was about, but I didn't really like want to put it on because I wasn't really in the mood. So maybe we can return to this when I'm like in a better headspace to watch a movie like this. And then after that, we watched Don't Worry, Darling, starring Florence Pugh and Olivia Wilde. This one was directed by Olivia Wilde. And I have a few things to say about this movie. I personally wasn't a huge fan of this movie. And I wanted to be because I love Florence Pugh. Florence is like my Lord and Savior. I love Florence, but I feel like she carried this movie on her fucking back, and if she wasn't in it, this movie would suck. Harry Styles is like the worst actor I've ever seen. Oh my God, I hate Harry Styles as an actor. I want him in less things. Like, do not cast him in anything. I'm not watching anything with Harry Styles. I'm just joking, but I'm just serious. Like, I don't know. I just don't like him. I just don't like him as an actor. The next one we watched was a movie called Orgasm Inc. And this is a documentary in the style of, in the same vein as The Vow, if you guys have heard of that docuseries. And it's pretty much a similar story of this like cult of this sexual cult thing that's going on. It was really good and it was told really well. It's just shocking and crazy that kind of stuff is taking place and so many companies are just allowing it. And then after that, we rewatched Hubie Halloween, and I put this on because it's a comfort movie for Ashley and she wasn't feeling well that day and I didn't know what else to do to cheer her up because she was just down in the dumps. And so I put on Hubie Halloween because she's been asking to watch it, and we watched it. The next one that we watched was, well, actually, this is one that we finished finally. We actually started this movie probably in October or even before then. This movie is called Taxidermia. This was a movie that Ashley wanted to watch for her channel so she could review it. And it is absolutely crazy. I don't even want, it's like one of those like movies that gets on like the top 10 like disturbing lists, so go check it out. The next one that we watched was definitely not disturbing. It's called I'm Totally Fine, and we watched this because it was just like a cameo role really, but Blake Anderson and Kyle Newacek from Workaholics are in this, as well as Jillian. No, we watched this podcast called This Is Important, and it's the Workaholics guys, Adam Devine, Kyle, Blake, Durs, they're all on it. And they were kind of pushing this movie pretty hard in one of the episodes. So we checked it out finally. It was all right. It was pretty funny. It's not like anything groundbreaking, but it's cool to see them get more roles. The next one we watched was a movie called Skinamarink, and yes, I hadn't heard of it either, but it's a movie that a lot of people, it's getting a lot of love, and I can understand why it's getting a lot of love, but for me, this movie doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work is because it's so fucking boring. It's boring. It's so boring. It's the most boring movie you will ever watch. If you're into watching like really boring, like liminal space vibes videos, then okay, sure. But like, that's what this is going for. It's going for like nostalgia, liminal space. Like if you're into that kind of stuff, like you'll like this. It's like a horror movie, I guess. I'm not really sure how to describe this movie. It's about two toddlers waking up to all of their windows and doors in their house being gone. And this is a movie that is very artistic, which is why a lot of people like it. And I understand why they would like it. It's just, I don't really like, I like the way they shot it. I just feel like they could have added a lot more to this to make it a little bit more interesting. The next one we watched was called Fire of Love. This is a doc that Neon put out, and it is great. This definitely gives off Wes Anderson vibes, if you guys know what I mean. But this is a documentary about a couple from the 70s and 80s and 90s, well, 70s and 80s for sure, that were going into these volcanoes, and they were pretty much DIYing it, and it's pretty cool to watch, but they're crazy. The next one that we watched was a rewatch for me. This was the first time Ashley had seen it. This was called Club Dread. Hilarious movie if you guys want to go check that out. It's by the same guys who did Super Troopers, but it's a horror movie, so go check it out. The next one that we watched was a rewatch for me as well, but it was not a rewatch for Ashley, and it is Now You See Me. We watched Now You See Me 1 and 2. Both of them were rewatches for me. She hadn't seen them. We put them on just because we were bored. We didn't know what else to watch, so I just threw them on because she hadn't seen them. And these movies, they're like good like afternoon watches, but they're not anything groundbreaking, let me tell you. The next movie that we watched was Smile, and let me tell you guys, that movie fucking sucks. Definitely skip. Smile, I already knew it was going to be bad, but Ashley was like, oh, everyone keeps saying it's good. Let's go watch it. So we finally watched it, and of course it blew. And then so that was awful, and it was way too long. Then we watched two movies after that, which were rewatches for me. Ashley, I don't think seen these movies, but it was Crank and Crank High Voltage. These are movies that she is a little bit iffy on, like, to watch, because she's normally not into like action, like Jason Statham action movies. These are just like hilarious, so we watched them. The next one we watched was Killer Sally. It's a docu-series on Netflix. Go check that out. It's about and I remember this actually happening, but this was a really crazy story, so definitely go check that out. The next one we rewatched was Small Soldiers. Ashley fell asleep during this, and I was trying to rewatch this because I've been telling her how much I love this movie and how well it holds up. And she kept saying, no, it doesn't hold up. But I was like, we have to rewatch because it holds up. It's great. And she fell asleep. So maybe she doesn't agree. I think it's a 4.5 out of 5 movie. The next one that I watched was called The Hateful Eight. This was a rewatch. This was one that I watched mostly by myself until Ashley came home from work, and then we finished it together. Great movie by Quentin Tarantino, one of my faves. The next one that we watched was called Blood Relatives. This is a Shudder movie, and it was a little bit boring, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a little better. It's a vampire movie, but it's not your typical vampire movie, so go into it thinking that. The next one we rewatched was Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, because it just got put on our Canadian Netflix recently. So then I rewatched Men in Black 1 and 2 because I wanted to, I was just bored and I needed something to watch while I was editing and while I was cleaning up. And so I put on Men in Black and Men in Black 2. Good films to rewatch. And then I rewatched Good Burger. Okay, 5-star film, obviously. Then I watched a movie actually called Meet Me in the Bathroom. This is a documentary from Utopia Films. They sent us the screener for this, which we are thankful for. So thankful for. We're gonna probably be talking about this on our podcast a little bit more. The next episode that we do. This is a great look into the New York City 90s rock scene. And it shows like some up close videos of the rock bands of that era, like the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, the Strokes, and Interpol, and others get mixed into that, but that's what this is about. The next one we watched was The Wonder on Netflix, another Florence Pugh movie, which I think I enjoyed a little bit more than Don't Worry Darling, although The Wonder was a little bit boring. It was like a little bit too long. It wasn't boring, it was just too long. Like there was very long scenes that could have been taken out. The next one we watched on the same day was called Something in the Dirt. We finally got to watch this, the new Benson and Moorhead movie. This is definitely a Benson and Moorhead movie. My review of this is how many cigarettes were smoked during this. It feels like they were literally spiraling during the pandemic and just decided to film it. And that's kind of what happened. I mean, I don't know. They probably came up with this concept before the pandemic, but because of the pandemic, we got this movie. And I feel like it's cool that we got this because it seems like, even though it is a little bit disjointed at times and it's definitely a little bit too long, it's a cool concept and it's cool to see how they came up with this. The next one we watched was Filthy Rich, the documentary about Ghislaine Maxwell, since we watched the Jeffrey Epstein one when that came out. It's cool. The people who made these movies, I'm just like, their documentary style, it's just very bland and just bland to me, and I feel like they could do so much more with this salacious content. I don't know. It's a little bit bland. The last one that I rewatched the other day was Men in Black 3. I wasn't actually going to rewatch this, but I figured I watched 1 and 2. Might as well rewatch this. I've already seen part of Men in Black International, and that movie's not for me, so I'm not going to be rewatching it. But there you have it. That's pretty much everything that I've watched this month. I may watch something tonight, but even if I do, it's not going to be anything super crazy. It's probably going to be like a rewatch of something or something that we've already seen, or you know what I mean. But I'm super glad that I finally got to make this video. I've been a little bit slacking on the monthly recaps, but I'm glad that I got to get this one out for you guys, got to get some more content out. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys all on the flip side. Let me know what you guys think down below. What have you guys been watching? Let me know if you guys haven't watched anything on this list or you have. I would love to start a dialogue about that. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Stay safe, everybody.